What's up, everyone? My name's Sweaty Zeus, and welcome to the next episode in the Dark Souls SOTFS Scholar of the First Sin walkthrough. We are at Broom Tower here. Throne Floor Idol is the name of the bonfire. If you didn't see us come here before, you're going to want to go to this bonfire right here, Egil's Idol, and then fight the boss for that area if you hadn't already, which I'm sure you have to if you're this far, most likely. And then go down under the. There's some stairs that go down underground under the lava, where we will lit the primal bonfire. And if you continue past that, there should be like a second doorway if you have the DLC. And then you'll go into that second room. There'll be one of those big fountain-looking things, like where we went to Liam Lois, and you'll just interact with that. And if you have everything like you should be warped here. You'll be at that tower on the end of that chain that we came from, and you'll just head up this way. We really haven't encountered anything yet. Like I said, we came here earlier if you need to see it, but we just crossed the chain, and you'll pick up some smelter wedges. You could go down that way, but we're going to go this way over here. There will be like an idol right here where I'm standing. You just want to interact with it immediately, hit yes, and then you'll basically like stab one of the wedges. It's like a stake into the idol, killing it. It'll buff all enemies around, damage you, and I think it can even inflict curse over time. So you want to kill those immediately. Anytime you go into a room and there's enemies around, like just run straight to those things and take them out. So run down here. There's a ring I missed before. I don't know why I'm fat rolling, but the dexterity ring. It's whatever. I mean, it's basically for like, if you don't have enough of a stat to use some item you find and you want to try it out. Like, that's kind of what those are usually for, in my opinion. 'Cause you're not going to get a huge scaling boost on it from 5 points. Or I think it's 5 points. I could be wrong. I've never used those. Yeah, so we're going to head down this way. And we're going to drop down. There'll be a few items here. You'll see the corpses. We already picked them up before. If you need to see that, go back several videos to the one where we started Liam Lois. I think it's that one or the one after. So we're going to go this way, but I'll show you everywhere you need to go. You really don't need to see it. So these guys are easy to backstab. Be sure if you have a fire weapon, you change your infusion. I had to because I had this set up for fire with Lud and is it Lud and Thalen? That's not right. What's the other one's name? Lud and Valen or something. The two tigers. Well, I set my sword finally. I wasn't thinking. I set it for fire, went back and almost got him. But I didn't want to fight through that whole unicorn shithole again. So I was like, I'll come here, level up a little more, go back and stomp their teeth in. So, anyways, this is actually probably an easier DLC. It's just the bosses in this one are really hard. Like, it's probably the two hardest bosses in the whole game. If not, they're definitely in the top 5, probably universally with anyone. So pick up that item back there, and then there's those little ash bodies. Anytime you see them, roll through them. There's most of them, well, not most of them, maybe like half of them have items. So we'll rock around here and pick that item up on that body. There'll be one right there. There's not one around here. I don't know what I was thinking. This is actually post-recorded my commentary because I left my mic off for the whole episode. So there'll be a item on that body, one in the chest. I'll let you know if there's any mimics, but I don't think any of the chests had mimics here that I'd seen yet. So go back here, deal with this guy first. You'll see another one come out of the ground. Get used to that. Main thing in this area is you just don't want to get overwhelmed, so just pick an enemy, concentrate on them till they're dead, then don't hit one and then the other and leave 2 or 3 alive to hit you with low health. Just if there's anything I could recommend of this game, like a tip, pick that item up. is always when there's a big group, focus on one enemy till they're gone, and then focus on another one till they're gone, and just totally ignore the other ones, because it does you nothing to, if a guy's got 90% damage and you haven't killed him yet, and then you're focusing on another one, he's still hitting you for his full attack power until you take him out. So you gotta take out the threats as quick as you can. I know that sounds like super obvious, but one of those things like in the middle of a fight you don't really think about. There's nothing down to drop to there. We're gonna go outside, hit the lever, roll through these. I think one of them has an item. I don't remember which. There'll be an item on that body. Get some spawn boys and don't. Oh gosh, I almost fall off. That makes me nervous. You want to roll late with these guys, and then you can get behind them. I'm using the rusted scimitar, dark infusion +5. I gotta say, I really like the sword. I don't know about the scaling, but it hits hard enough. The requirements are a little high, but we meet them. And I mean, for like a spell build, they're a little high. Pick those items up in those chests, obviously. And then we're going to run over this way. But yeah, this sword, it's got a really good moveset. Pretty fast swings. You're not like spinning your body around or doing anything crazy. They're just kind of like straightforward swings. The R2, the secondary one, you spin around. I'm not a big fan of the attacks that spin around in big circles because they'll hit walls and stuff. I really like the swords that kind of attack like straightforward. So just kind of walk towards those guys, they'll run away from you. You want to basically just lure them towards the fire by getting them to run away from you like you're herding sheep or something. So time that to get down here. Keep going, we're almost to our first bonfire. This is so weird how this dude, like, he can't shoot us, so his arm detaches and, like, comes up and shoots down at us. I thought that was a glitch, like his whole body should have gone up there, but I think that's just how they are. Or thinking I could hit him through the wall, but it didn't work. But these guys are pretty dumb. You can get most of them to walk into the fire. Even though they're kind of resistant to it, it'll still kill them pretty quick. Watch out for the skeleton barrels. I can't believe these guys don't explode like right away. Like, look at, they're like right in the fire and it doesn't take them out. It takes a minute. Actually, I don't think any of them get taken out. I have to like blow them up myself. Even though they're like right next to the fire and getting hit by it. I'm like nervous to start walking that way and then one walk back towards me and blow up, take me all the way back. Kind of a far route to a bonfire. So we got like one rough little area we gotta get through and then we'll be bonfire. Another reason I didn't do this area prior to Ilium, which Ilium's actually like the final of the DLCs. This one's the mid, so we're doing them in like reverse order. And then I've decided I'm gonna take on Nadalia, is that it? The queen. I'm gonna take her on at the very end since it's the end of the game. I don't like ending the main story before the DLC. It just always feels out of place unless the storyline goes that way. But if you want to see that, you can fast forward. It'll probably be the last episode. We'll go back to Drain Lake. There's a dual boss fight, and then we'll fight the final main game boss. But here's your bonfire. Go ahead and grab it. Can't open that door. There'll be an item in that chest. So I think there's two in there, right? Or no, one's... Yeah, just one. So we can't open that. Sometimes if you hit it, It'll lure the skeletons over towards the door, and they'll burn up. It's kind of like the luck thing. See, there we got one of them. Putting on flash sweat, it'll make going through these fire areas so much easier. And then I'd throw in the flame quartz as well. Definitely, I don't know why I don't have that on yet. It kind of trivializes this whole area. Like, I remember, man, down in there's a bitch, but I'll show you a way to make it easy. Um, I remember when I first played through this, I was like, oh my lord, like, why is it so difficult? And putting that flame quartz ring on made it, like, an order of magnitude easier. Like, it's probably, like, half as hard as it was. So we're down the ladder, we'll go down a level. Get him to fall through the trap door there. Can't open this yet. And we can't climb up that little 1 foot step there to get up in that hallway. That's what I'm saying. It always cracks me up in this game how, like, there'll be a 2 foot ledge and you have to, like, go around, like, just some crazy level and fight through all these monsters and bosses where you could just, like, like, step up in a normal, like, big step. So lure all these guys over. We need them all to fall through there. Just get behind them and they'll walk away from you. It does take some finagling and luck, but they'll get over there. Come on, buddy. Alright, pick up the Radiant Life Gem. There'll be another Flame Quartz down in the next area. It's a +3. I throw in a bow or something. What you want to do here is like go down the ladder a few inches and come right back up. I'm not really thinking for a minute. I'm trying to blow these dudes up the way it is, but they're kind of spread out. You can see over there that idol, the thing on fire. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. The little, I think it's called a smelter idol. Those things. That's what they look like. So if we drop down in there, we want to run over there immediately and take it out. Because like I said, it'll heal and buff enemies in several ways. I'm sitting over here shooting his foot. I can lure him right to me. Just go down the ladder a foot or two. I think I remember here shortly. There we go. So go down like that and just come right back up. And they'll all kind of wander right over here towards the danger. You can either arrow them down or blow up the barrels or whatever you want to do. I'm just sitting here dancing while I'm waiting for myself to slowly arrow all these guys to death. Come on, sweaty. Yeah, eat that dark orb. Best spell ever. So I got those two um, rings. And I was talking a while back about how one of them just upgrades your dark scaling. So you run over here, yes, you'll stab it, kill it, and then these guys will be way, way, way more manageable. Oh. I don't remember what I was talking about. I'm trying to remember, but it was so dumb. I hate when that happens. I really like this weapon though. Heal, heal. Another one to deal with. I remember what I was saying. I was talking about the rings. There's one for the Dark Covenant. There's Flame Quartz 3. One for the Dark Covenant that we got. And then the Dark Clutch. I think the Dark Clutch one, I was saying before, it only upgrades your dark scaling on weapons. But I looked and made sure it does improve your bonus scaling for your staff too. And I think that affects your actual like spell scaling on your staff. Um, it does increase that too. So essentially, it just increases your scaling on anything. Which if I think if you're increasing the scaling on the staff, I'm pretty sure it upgrades your damage too. And I was testing it, seemed to make a difference. Um, but yeah, it's worth throwing on. And then if you coat your weapon, like I was showing before, you can still enchant it, even though our weapons infused, which you can't do in the other games, and I totally didn't realize for a long time. Um, yeah, you can throw that on, and it'll kind of boost you in all ways, not just with the melee weapons, also with the scaling on the staffs. So when I say scaling, I don't mean the sorcery scaling. I mean the when you look at your attack power, there's a plus. And I do, and that is your sorcery scaling, but like, there's also like weapon scaling. So it's raising your weapon scaling on the staffs, which I think in other games it's there more as like a physical if you hit them with the staff, but I think here it's actually like your spell scaling. So regardless, it works for spells and melee is what I was trying to say. In a very confusing, ridiculous, over the top way. Trying to knock her off. And she doesn't die despite dropping from a height where we would very obviously die. I do fall off here, which is pretty embarrassing. Um, oh, I can't believe I survived that. This gets hairy right here. Like, I can't believe I survived this. So I should run right up the ladder. Oh yeah, I do. I get knocked off. So there's like, they trapped me over here by this fog door, and I don't know how I survived this part. Like, I get knocked out of going through the fog door because it just goes to a bonfire. But then they like hit me and take me out of it. And then I'm literally trapped here, like getting hit. Roll downstairs, same thing. Like, I thought for sure I was dead there. There's another item down here. We'll go this way in a little bit, across that chain to this other tower to get the old iron scepter, I think is what it's called. It's like a key that'll restart the forge. This level's like a giant, like, smithing forge type thing. Be careful, these dudes will jump out of the walls. To your left, those snowdrifts where they stand out like the embankments. These guys will jump out. I think they jumped out when I fell down. Be sure to knock over all those ash bodies. There's items in several of them. Brawl City. Maybe this. No. There's one other part where I get kind of overwhelmed. These witches are no joke. There you saw them jump out, so just be aware that they're going to. Those three little spots where the snow sticks out, that's where they'll jump out from. We triggered it a little weird this time because I fell down and I think like one or two already jumped out, but normally when you walk in here from over towards the bonfire door or that fog wall, they're all three will jump out at you as you walk down. You can see there's a bunch of items here, so just break all those little ash people and pick up the items. I don't know why I went back down here, thinking I didn't pick that up. Alright, so we'll go through the mist. Maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I was doing there. Like indecisive. I was probably talking about something and wasted time. But like I said, I gotta re-record and I don't even know what I was talking about. So follow me over here. Grab the good old bonfire point. Those sure are nice when you see them. There's an item here. Spell Quartz +3, very nice. And you see that little platform sticking out there? We'll put that item that we'll go get, the scepter, I think it's called, and we'll put it in there. And it'll get all those chains moving and the little bucket. I don't know, like bucket elevator things. We'll get them moving. And we can go up and down. I was saying earlier I got distracted. Pick up that item. You can roll through those if you want extra fire protection. We'll have to come to that from the other side. But yeah, if you want extra fire protection, just roll through those. And you'll coat yourself in water. Also, if you have the stats, like out there on Flash Sweat, and I have the Flame Quartz +3. So you'll see in a minute, like the fire dudes like barely damaged me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go grab the bonfire duh. This is kind of a long stretch through here. Trying to determine if I have enough to level up, which I don't think I do. Just depends on those item souls. So immediately hit that bull. it'll go that way and blow up a lot of the barrels and enemies. There's like 3 of those women things, or 2 of them maybe. There's an area up here where we're gonna have to lure one of those barrel dudes over to this wall and blow it up. So I would try to make sure you have like fire arrows. Makes blowing those barrels up pretty easy. Right there, where those messages are, is the door. See where the bricks look kind of weird. So we're gonna go open these gates. Kind of give you shortcuts where you don't have to fight through these little side areas. Get in again. So we're gonna kill that one, hopefully. Try to push her back into the fire a little bit here. I wish I could turn that feature off. I hate that. When he does that little, like, arm knock away thing. Alright. Got her taken care of. Well, I thought so. There's one more here. Oh, it does like no damage to waste all these nice resonant souls on this stupid enemy. They're dark, so it doesn't. I guess it makes sense. It doesn't work very well, but melee works pretty good on them. So these enemies are tough, though, man. You get 2 or 3 of them ganging up on you, and it's curtains. So this was dumb. I tried to open this gate, thinking I had iframes, but you don't. I don't know. The iframes in this game are weird. Like sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't. Like I don't. That maybe I'm just like dumb or I forgot or I don't know what's going on, but I thought there were times we had iframes. Maybe it's just me playing Elden Ring when I'm not playing this and coming back, but I tried to open the door here so I could lure out the big guy, and like when I went to open the door on the other side, I thought I would be getting iframes, but he knocks me out of the animation. So anyways, oh yeah, we're gonna do this door first. So we're leaving this guy over here. It actually goes pretty well. This is really hard to do. It looks really easy, like watching me. Now I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, like, come on, blow it up. And I'm just like pressing buttons because I'm like freaking out trying to hurry while he's right by it, and then I miss him, and then I get him finally. So you can go in there. There's some petrified dragon bone. There'll be another one of those later too. I was starting to mention it earlier. I got distracted, but there's a stretch through this. I don't know why I didn't open that one. There's a stretch through this part, or through this part of the this DLC, because they all came out at different times. There's a stretch through it that's like really, really rough. It's. I think it might be more difficult after replaying the murder reindeer area with Lud and Thalen or whatever, the tigers. I think this area might be harder because you've got like a real long gauntlet. You go through these little caves and there's these all these little traps you got to get through, and then you get to the end, and if you remember the smelter demon, it's a blue smelter demon. It's like blue flame, so it's real tough. Yeah, see, he knocks me right out of it. Best thing to do is just kind of lead him back this way. The smart thing here is I hit it so it'll kind of follow him. Can't believe I don't die here though. And he had to hit me once. And then that'll get those barrels and blow up as well. And it's getting him the whole way. Just gotta hit him one more time now. Nope, I actually got him. I don't know what I was doing there. I remembered hitting the switch, and I guess I forgot the door didn't open. I got knocked out of it. Alright, so all those are open, and then we'll go back and get that item that we saw through the gate by the bonfire. You have to go outside. And then there's another little passage that'll take us back. And the item's kinda it's not anything special, but we'll open that gate and then we'll have a straight path to the next tower where we can avoid all that we just got through. I think when I played through this before, I never noticed that this could be open. I didn't think there was or I didn't see the switch. And I would go, if I were you, I would go hit the bonfire here. I don't, because I have like 8 or 9 chugs left. But the area we're about to go into can be kind of overwhelming. The guys in it aren't that bad, but there's so many of them, and they'll dive at you and explode, kind of like, you know, the guys, what are those guys called? The ones that are like, they look like zombies. There's a bunch of them at Lost Bastille, and then there was a bunch at Dragonary. And the ones in Dragonary would, when they blew up, like broke your items. But yeah, they're kind of like them where they jump at you. So see that little doorway when we came in, we'll come out that way. It's kind of confusing when we come out, but that's where we come out. So if you hit them, they will explode, but it's weird, like, they don't always. Sometimes they'll go a while without exploding, sometimes they will immediately. But if you want to do that, just throw on like a fire sword or something. You can see they do a lot of damage when they jump like on you like that. You can just whack those if you have like a fire weapon, or you can bust out a flame butterfly. They'll make that little sound when they're gonna blow up, a little ringing bell or whatever. These guys suck though. I hate them. Best thing to do is probably range them with spells. I don't know why I didn't heal right there. I think I was worried I was going to get caught in an animation and he'd jump at me and kill me. I try to light the torch, but you can't light it at this for whatever reason. You just have to use a flame butterfly. Or slap them, like I said. I had a fire sword, that's all I had to do, but I didn't really think of that yet. So there's like a mid-level here, and there's going to be an invasion at the bottom. If you roll down there, you can get to that mid-level. It's kind of hard, you will die if you miss. I think. Actually, I don't know that. If you have a bunch of health, you might survive it, but there's the invader down there you can kind of see. We want to take him out. I kind of fall down here like an idiot. So you got to go all the way back up. You can't hop off halfway. Best thing to do is come in like diagonally from over here. I guess you could just roll straight forward from that spot. And then I'm going to take care of this guy. There's not really anything special in there. You'll see it's just a consumable. But you can shoot that invader from up here. You gotta jump. I think you can actually roll that too. Dried root, that's what it was. Which for me that's good, but if you're not, using spells, it's not really all that valuable. But there we go. We lit it. Good old Rachel. She's pretty tough. That's why I'm standing up here shooting her. Normally, I mean, you could just roll down and fight her at this point because it does take a minute to try to shoot her. Once you hit her once or twice, she will come over where you can see her better. But she's really good at like avoiding attacks, and I don't know. She seems like she could stagger us pretty easily. So yeah, just stand right there in that fire. That's the way to do those. Just lock on because you can't point straight down if you're using the manual aim, but if you lock on, you can point straight down. Because we couldn't actually shoot her right there if we were trying to manually aim it. Come on, Rachel. Die. Die, Rachel. There's a bunch more of those fat jump guys in the next little area down here. There's a bunch of doors in there. Ooh. They're kind of behind like all but like one of the doors. One of them's like a waste too. I'll show you here. This one has them behind it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's one. My last heal. Lighting both of those. Trying to go back to my scimitar, but it's hard to find. I don't know why I always overlook it. There it is, though. Re-enchant it. Throw those down on my usables. The little ones, the one I have 31 of, that one, those don't do much, but I think they're pretty cool to have because, like, when you run out of Estus, like I am right here, what you can do is, like, after you kill them and you have a break, you can, like, go stand in a corner and just pop like 2 or 3. And it's slow, but if you pop a few, it's not that bad, and it'll fill your bar pretty quick. So they're good to keep around, like, in your inventory for these long stretches where you're fighting through a long area without like any type of checkpoint or rest. So bonfire. This is just like a dead end. I remember thinking there was hidden wall in it somewhere. Illusory wall, as everyone calls it. So this is the only one I think you really need to open. There's the example right here. I popped too many. I think I popped like 4 or 5. But you can see it goes up pretty quick. And you can buy them from that Melentia the Hag or whatever that's in Majula. She was the one that was in Force of the Fallen Giants at the very beginning, like one of the first merchants we encountered. There's 2 more back here. Thankfully he blows up. Kablooey. Go down to here. And there's this room ahead. They're not aggro. And if you go in there and they see you, they won't aggro because they're like praying to the scepter or whatever. But if you go in and grab it, they're going to all turn on you. So what you may want to do is like aggro them, kind of kite them away because, like I said, there's like, what, 7 in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. You get rid of it, so stop fat rolling. I had both swords equipped. But you can pull them back this way. And you can go up the ladder if they're kind of swamping you. I remember taking this point to go take a potty break. And I just left myself there. It was pretty quick too. I remember coming back, they're all gone. I was like, did they die? Like, what? Feel free to fast forward about 30 seconds if you just don't want to just watch me sit there. Alright, I think I come back now. We're going to work our way back and deal with them one or two at a time, making them more manageable. There's just like 3 left. Boom. Boom. Alright, and go claim your prize. Yay! What was it, the Iron Scepter? Some more of these idiots over here. Yeah, they got like almost 2,000 HP. Alright, we got one fatty coming down the elevator. As that nice message warned us. I wouldn't mind just like meleeing those dudes. It probably works better, but they do so much damage, and the way they swarm you is just like, it is not worth it having to run back here. I mean, having that shortcut does make it nice, a lot nicer. So before I was like having to run all the way through that whole area with the Black Witch, whatever they are, like assassin dudes, and then the guys with the barrels around all the fire, and the big giant fire golem guys. I think that is what they're called, like a fire golem or something. So we'll run back across the chain. We dropped in from that area I pointed out when we first got over there a while back. This is the shortcut. Alright. So when we come back, we'll go ahead and do it. We'll throw this in here. And it'll get everything going again. Whee! Pretty cool looking. There's like a weapon of that thing. Alright, when we come back, we'll be riding those little buckets and going up and down and all around.